Do me a favor. Stop copying my man Shaw's style, man. Shaw's the original.
I'm still told from the night before.
Let's go!
Yeah.
One West, come!
I'm about sick that these pussy ass niggas tryna rap, tryna sound like the boy 2G. I got that grip on my gun, I ain't gon' never fucking run. Pussy boy, you can never beat me. Look at that. Bubble clock. Whoa, we knock the ball, wheeling off thunder shots, yeah. Crack up, boy, you cannot roll with us. Crack your head, break your leg for just approaching us. We got our senders up and making moves on your block, make you look amateur. I got them bitches in my car, they gon' aim to death. So fuck that squad, yeah, fuck these hoes, but I had that guy with y'all. Riddle me this and riddle me that. How many times you ever seen UPK take a fucking L? Whole weight and you can tell. But they look like I'm fucking sale. Hold water like a well. That's why I never left a trail. I'm about 6 of these good damn pussy ass niggas tryna rap and tryna sound like me. Boy, big ass niggas can't wait to see me slip, but I got grip on that ARP. Yeah, all of these hoes tryna hang out with my foes, double down and bring me all your things. I got rank, I got power, and I ain't never going backwards. Pussy boy, not even in my pantry. I ain't going fucking backwards.
No.
Not a fucking bed. No. I ain't going fucking backwards.
No.
That's your fucking brain, nigga. Huh? Who the fuck you got that stain, nigga? Bitch. My nuts gon' fucking hang, nigga. Huh? You cannot play me like no lame, nigga. You got my life fucked up, you insane, nigga. Niggas say they blocked, so that's why they had locked up. Niggas say it's block strong, but that block really patrol, cause he can't shoot in this facility. I ain't going backwards.
We ain't going backwards. Y'all going backwards, man.
Fuck with me, Shot 2G.
We run this. Don't you understand that? One West.
You boy. You know what time it is, nigga.
Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my niggas.
I'm in yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me.
But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor.
You know what I'm saying?
Under commanding General Honor. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping, man. amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to prophets. My niggas serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed it up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. No, it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settle. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world to know. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Nigga, gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to wrong with step. I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent. I got it. Let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss. Ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with you. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high. Got your baby pants through the fire. Ask you the prophets. That baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Plus your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Salam, Israel. This is the ISPPK. I'm the Commander General Yohana. Started out at 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York in 1969. This is the ISPPK. Nashville, Wednesday night, law class, and I am precinct officer Zabak Yasharala. And just to give y'all a little insight, here in the ISUPK and the Commander General Hunter, we are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group that is on the face of this earth. For we are the ISUPK under Commander General Hunter, home of the truth. We are not affiliated with Christianity. We're not affiliated. We're not affiliated with Egyptology. We're not affiliated with Scientology. We're not affiliated with Islam. We're not affiliated with Moorish, Judaism, Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists. Here in the ISUPK and the Commander General Hunter, ever since 1969, we have been teaching God's chosen people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people, that we are God's chosen people, the real true Jews of biblical antiquity, according to the words that is of the Most High God. My topic for tonight, I'm gonna be talking about how white supremacy has turned abortions into a billion-dollar business. It has. Abortion goes all the way back to even when we was in captivity under Pharaoh, the Egyptians. And when I say that, Salaki Israel, hey, Shalom Lord of Christ to everybody that is in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button, share this class, subscribe. And if y'all have any questions, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. And your questions get answered. Like I was saying, white supremacy has taken on the ways of, well, it's modern day Egypt. So they, had to take it on their custom, take it on their way of living. Because white supremacy, they are cultural vultures. They have done, you name it, they have done it. You name it. I'm talking about the list is so crazy when you're dealing with white supremacy but like white supremacy is disgusting. Like they are the vomit of this earth. I mean, it's no doing right with them. It's nothing in them is right. Even the Most High God said it best that there's no peace with these people. There's no peace with these people. So, even during the times, so like even during the times when, like I say, when we was in captivity in Egypt, it was an order to the midwives of the Hebrew Israelite women that that all the males were to be, unalive. But long story short, our women, they feared the Most High. They feared the Most High. So that really didn't take place according to how that order was brought out. But bring it in modern day and time now, abortion is at an all-time high. And when I say that it has turned into a billion-dollar business, they are taking the body parts and is selling it on black market. Like when you look at white supremacy, when they go in and do things, it's at the end result, it is going to be horrific, but it is going to result in money with them. It is going to result in money with them. Like it's no, like they are going to unalive, they're going to rob, they are going to rape, they are going to take villages, they are going to go and anything that they can know that they can get money out of it, they're going to do that. And white supremacy, they don't have no remorse for nobody. They don't have no remorse for no other nation. They, at one point in time, they would even unalive themselves, but when they found out that they can go outside of unaliving themselves, they started unaliving other nations. But you have to be a certain type of wickedness. You have to be a certain type of evil for you to go and just unalive a little kid. Unalive a little kid, like there's no type of remorse there. Like I think back to even when doing slavery with the alligator baits, that was a type of form of abortion. But abortion, they make it seem like it's nothing. Like you going to um how can I'm trying to find the right way to say this. They make abortion look like, like, okay, you made a mistake, with you not really being educated for having sex. So with that being said, knowing that you made a mistake, white supremacy, they don't teach you, especially when it comes to God's chosen people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people, they don't teach you that, like with the education on having sex and having sex properly, they will have you thinking that your body, your choice. I seen a clip where a woman was screaming about abortion is a health choice, something crazy she was saying. But they would have you thinking that it's okay to unalive this child. They would have you thinking that uh, it's it's a fetus. Like the F is a fetus. Like this don't make no sense. You are carrying a live human. You are carrying another person inside of you. And white supremacy, they have ways of making it looking like anything is all right. You know, it's it's mind-boggling how they have all of these abortion clinics throughout America that, and especially around so-called Blacks, Hispanics, First Nation people, especially in our neighborhoods. They make it accessible to get into the clinics because they have a hidden agenda. They have a hidden agenda. White supremacy are monsters. I'm talking pure monsters. And now they got it so that they have like the plan B. Um, and then our Black leaders, like that Christian church is filthy. It's disgusting. Because our Black leaders are no better. You don't do the things that is written in the Bible. The older supposed to teach the younger. And it's real simple. Because if you teach a child, that's why this proverb is a must. And it's so heavy when it says train up a child in the way he should go. And when they get older, they will not depart from it. Because if you tell this little boy that if he lay down with this female, that this is marriage, that sex is marriage, a whole lot of things would not take place. If you teach this little girl that if she lay down with this little boy, that you belong to him forever, that this is your husband. But when you have people that are partaking in these worldly holidays, and these worldly holidays, like when you really do the research, when you go in and see what these holidays consist of, it would take you to uh it, at the end of that tunnel is dealing with having sex. So now when you don't know no better and That's why God said in 1 John 2:15, love not the world nor the thing that is of this world. For once again, if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, and First Nation people, and you is not in the ISUBK under Commander General Hunter, you is not going to know how to serve the Most High. You is not. You is not going to get the real logistics of following the law, statutes, and commandments. And if you was in that Christian church, you have done took on the ways of the pastor or reverend or bishop or whoever deacon. You haven't took on his lustful ways. You haven't took on the ways that is of this world. So now you thinking, the little girl, the first thing she thinking that when she gets pregnant, her first instinct is to go and have an abortion. I cannot let my mother know that I'm pregnant. I cannot this, I cannot that. And the little boy, he don't even know no better. First thing gonna come to his mind, we gotta do something, we gotta have abortion. I haven't been around people like that. I can remember uh, right my freshman year in college, my oldest daughter, her mother, her family, and I'm sharing this with my family, She, this little side boy, she had told me that she was pregnant, and her family was telling her to get an abortion. And I told her, I said, nah, I said, we're not gonna do that. I say, nah. So after that, I really didn't deal with her family like that, because not only that you didn't care enough about the baby, you were saying F me too. Because I said something that was real simple to her. I say, listen, I said, my father raised us. I said, and my mother also said this here too. You make a baby, you take care of that baby. Real simple. She say, because, my parents was on it like that child didn't ask to come in this world. My parents, they sat down and they told me about, using protection and things of that nature. But I was just wild on my ways, I'm not gonna sit here in front. So I told my daughter mother, I say, listen, I say, check this out. I say, you only got one option. I said, abortion is not it. I said, you had the baby, just get the baby to me. I say, if they feel like that, because I told, I said, you already didn't had a child. You already have another child. So I say, I'm going to lighten the load. I say, I'll take what's mine. I'll take what's mine. I say, because I can't see you getting an abortion, listening to these people. I can't. And I told her, I said, these people, they don't care nothing about you. I said, let her know my baby. But as time went on, when my daughter was old enough to receive that information, me and her, we sat down and we talked. But I never like planted seeds to have hatred towards her family members, because I raised her a little better. But we are so-called Black, Hispanics, and First Nation people. That's the only thing that we think about when it's real simple. If you don't want to get pregnant, one or two options. One, don't have sex. Don't have sex until you really know what sex is, because sex is marriage. Two, if you promiscuous in your ways, hey, you gotta suit up, like, don't just think that you can do what you want to do and then it's not a repercussion to your actions. Because 9 times out of 10, you get pregnant, hey, first thing you're gonna think about is having an abortion. And a lot of women have not been taught this. Like you having uh, these abortions, sometimes that could lead to you having cancer. But that abortion is at an all-time high. When I say that abortion is at an all-time high, that abortion is at an all-time high. So white supremacy, you know, they have done, I mean, from way back when, as you do the research, it was a white woman named Mar- Margaret Sager, or something like that. But she was the face. She was the face, and she was the face behind uh, Planned Parenthood. But here in the ISUPK, we call it Planned Parenthood because you have to be a filthy, disgusting animal to even have thoughts like that. But like white supremacy, now in 2025, they have like certain places that they be trying to recruit, especially so-called black men, to they want to more so talking about populating their nation as to decreasing ours because they know that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people, they know that we are people that we have babies that's like at the drop of a dime, like it's and I be telling people, but I kind of say it like in a funny manner. I kind of say it in a funny manner. I said, black people, we as black people, you know, white supremacy, they go to the doctor to see if they can have kids. Black people, we go to the doctor to see, we trying to stop. But when you are educated on having kids, it's a beautiful thing because I believe in building up our nation. I wholeheartedly believe that. And with that abortion, like when I hear that, it just it's crazy because you unaliving. You unaliving a child. Like you don't even our people's our sisters don't even think this right here. Like just give the baby up for adoption. Because you have couples that uh can't have kids. So the joy that you would bring to a husband and wife, like they would really rejoice in that. But white supremacy, I mean, disgusting. They are disgusting. Not only do they promote unaliving of babies, but they would turn right back around and take the body organs and sell them on black market. They would sell it on black market. I'm talking this to the point now. The last that I heard about abortions, they was saying that they could take the baby up to 9 months. But it's a reason for that though. It's a reason for that because you're not um for them to really be into that field of having abortions, and you talking about you taking the baby at 9 months, a person have to come to the terms and realize that, yo, hold up, like, what am I doing? If you're gonna take the baby at 9 months and something should click in their head, you still talking about abortion at 9 months, and I done went all this long time, and the baby not going up for adoption, something should click. But once again, when a young woman is trying to get rid of the baby, it's like, she not thinking. She not thinking like, uh, especially they talking about the 9 months thing. She is not thinking as far as, what's gonna happen to this baby. Like, you don't win 9 months, so what's wrong with you giving the baby up for adoption? At least the baby will have a chance. You done gave this baby a chance. You done gave this baby a chance because by you giving this baby a chance, man, you never know, man. That baby might become a doctor, lawyer. That baby might come back and might be the one that have to really help you because the baby will come to the realization of this right here. Okay, my mother didn't, abort me in that manner, and now I'm in a position that I can help her. Because you do have kids that go back and try to find their parents, and I'm all for that. I don't see nothing wrong with that, because they just be wanting to know. You have some kids just want to know and just want to ask them like, why did you give me up for adoption? But you have some that when they do go back and find the father or the mother, if they still alive, they reunite with them and just go from there. It could be to the point that if the father and the mother still alive, that hey, it might be a blessing. It might be a blessing. But they have I think they have in some states where the father can step in. The father, like if the mother is going up for adoption and they find the the father, the father can step in and have a say so as far as no, I don't want, I don't believe in this, and the mother will be ordered to carry the baby the full term. And the father, I want to be, I'm like 100% sure that the father can get the child, that the father can get the child. But I know some of some of y'all saying that. What if the woman was raped? Okay, let's let's think along these lines right here. If the woman was raped, that still doesn't have nothing to do with the child because I have heard some women, and I have sat back and I have been got on a topic that talking with some females, and we have been discussed this, and some women have brought up the fact that if they were raped, and I asked them, I said, what would you do? Some said that they would keep the baby. Some said that they would abort it, have an abortion. So I asked them, I said, listen, I said, if you was raped, why would you take it out on the child? And they said that, well, the child might end up being like well, if it's a boy, it might end up being like the father and going around uh, raping women and things of that nature. I just looked at it. I was like, you kind of taking that way off course. You kind of taking that way off course because not all sons follow after their fathers. They might have like some characteristics, like they might have some characteristics, but I can't see, and I'm saying this with all honesty, I can't see a son, especially if he is raised with discipline, morals, values. I can't see him going out doing that. I just can't because a lot of times, a lot of men that going around doing like being raped, 9 times out of 10, they acting out like that because that happened to them. That saying, hurt people. And you have a lot of dudes that act out like that is because they never really, what was done to them, they never really sought counseling. They never really like really vented to somebody, really sought out help. So in return, they acting out off of anger. And I don't want nobody to sit and think that I'm taking up for a person that is going around raping. I'm just I'm more so kind of voicing my opinion because I can't really see somebody that just woke up one morning and say, yo, I'm going out raping and just went off wild like that. I can't. That's like how I look at somebody if they talking about robbing a bank. You're not just gonna wake up one morning and say, yo, I'm robbing a bank. It's something that led up to that. You kind of like was acting on them thoughts and you kind of let that voice, you entertain that voice until it led you to that. You sit in a plot. And but abortion is in in the sight of the Most High. It's a terrible thing. The Most High is against abortions. So here in the ICP the Commander Junior Hunter, every man and woman that is under this UPK banner, we are against abortions. We are against abortion because of the Most High is against abortion. You let white supremacy have you thinking that there's nothing wrong with abortions. Like it's your body, it's your choice, or it's a health choice. Um, like you have made the right decision. Stop listening to what other people say. If you want to have an abortion, there's nothing wrong with it. These are things that people say in society instead of educating a person on that, as well as the female getting educated, the male has to get educated also. And I don't know how our little sisters can live with themselves. I'm serious, I don't. I haven't seen people that have been did this, go right back to messing with each other. The female that had 2 abortions and then go on to have more kids. I have. I have. I mean, when I say this is crazy, when I say this is crazy, I know a person that had, man, this is crazy. I know a person that had 6 abortions. 6. Went on to have more kids. I looked at her and I told her she was a serial killer. Like I was lost for words. I was lost for words because I was like, wow, it's no way. There is no way. And once again, when it comes to God's chosen people, we are lost, especially if you're not in the ISUPK and the community in Hunter. Because if you sit back and you listen to things that is of this world, you would be lost just like this world. You would think that, they think that eating pork is nothing wrong with that. Celebrating these man-made holidays, there's nothing wrong with that. You celebrating your birthday, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, this world right here, white supremacy, I have you thinking that if you say something against people that are gay, that for you saying something to somebody that's gay, you the evil one. You the wicked one. Um, like they just get caught up in the things that they love doing, and they don't really see nothing wrong with that. You have some sisters that they'll sit back and have an abortion. Like it's so many reasons. I really can't. I could touch on a few. I could touch on a few. You have some that, okay, he don't want to be with me, I'm gonna have an abortion. Things ain't going right, I'm gonna have an abortion. Like I said earlier about being um, getting raped, I'm gonna have an abortion. Even doing, I have been known some young females that have gotten molested, and the guy that did the molesting, it got to the point that he just, you have some guys that'll talk females into having an abortion. And just as well as some females that is in favor of having abortions, the dudes, they're just as worse. They're just as worse. But you know, at the end of the day, you are gonna have to answer for that. You will have to answer for that because that's unalive. That is unalive. There's no getting around it. You know, you sit back and you will listen to white supremacy, and white supremacy have you thinking that um white supremacy have you thinking that it's okay when it's not. When it's not. But I'm gonna share. I looked up some statistics, just a little bit, and I'm gonna share this with y'all. And me looking this up, this right here blew my mind. Um, all right, it said that this was from uh, Mature Institute, and they uh they ran a little survey. But this is just something. This is just something just to think about. This was done. This was done from. This was done from uh 2020 all the way up until 2024. And it says that the number of abortions in the United States, it varies, which it does, and it says annually. It said according to the Guttmacher Institute, there were approximately 930 930,160 abortions in 2020. It said reflecting a 8% increase from 2017. It said a more recent data from 2024 estimates around 1,038,100 clinical provided abortions in states. Hey, it's no way that nobody can tell me that the white man ain't the devil that the Bible speaks of. It's nothing that nobody can tell me that our black leaders have them failed us. Like abortion is $1 billion business, just like white supremacy has turned uh Christianity into $1 billion business. Everything that white supremacy set out and put their hands at, it's gonna be a profit benefiting from that. Because think about this here, and this right here just like when they were doing the alligator bait, they was making money off of that, even though they was unaliving babies, even though they was using babies as alligator bait. They only had one uh purpose, and that was to get money. They wasn't even thinking about these babies. I mean, you talking about the people with no remorse. You talking about the people that is like disgusting. That's why I look at. I don't even know how you have to be really, 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 really slow. I'm talking about T2, type 2 retarded, to really think that you're gonna go and buy a pair of Gators, to think that you can get some Gator sneakers if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, First Nation piece. Like if you know the history behind alligator bait, like them people should be out of business. Like it shouldn't even like it should be to the point that they couldn't even give uh anything that got alligator skin to God's chosen people. Knowing the history behind that, nah. It's no way. It's no way. I wouldn't even it's no way. You couldn't even no. I don't care how it look. And I'm talking about they be having like if you ever really looked at gators, I'm talking about they like white supremacy done got fancy with it. I'm talking about they dying the gators. Gators come in all colors. Gators come in all colors. And guess who is the number one buyer? Black people. Black people. You turn around and yo, it's sad. It's sad. But hey, Israel, I'm gonna get into some of these precepts. I'm gonna get into these scriptures talking about the things that is dealing with abortions. The things that is dealing with abortions. First of all, I'm gonna go to Psalms 118. 118 and verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. So confidence, the definition of confidence is trust. There's no way that you should put your trust in no type of abortion clinic. None. I'm gonna go to verse. I'm gonna combine both of these verses. Verse 9. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. That's why it is so important that a mother goes back and reach her daughter. A aunt goes back and reach her niece. A cousin goes back and reach her cousin. Like we like to say, each one teach one, but we don't act doing that. We don't. We don't. And even if you're not in the truth and you know this truth and you done heard this truth, yo, tell the truth. Tell the truth. White supremacy got a saying. If you see something, say something. If you don't seen the ICP County Commander Jimmy Hunt, oh, tell it. Tell it. Go back and educate your people. If you seen it and you heard it, just because you're not in the ISUPK and the Commander Jimmy Hunt, that don't mean that you can't tell what you heard. Because you know deep down inside, you know you done heard the truth. But a lot of our sisters like to get thrown off when they hear in the ISUPK and the Commander Jimmy Hunt, they be talking about more than one wife. Listen, stop. Because you don't have a problem with you hearing about more than one wife, especially when they go in the scriptures and show you. You just got a problem with God's words. But check this out. Here in the ISUPK and the Commander Jimmy Hunt, we don't always be talking about that. We talk about these laws, statutes, and commandments. We just don't get stuck on one thing. But my class that I'm dealing with tonight, I'm talking about abortion. So if you know that you done heard it, you done seen a class where, and General Yohana is always talking about abortion. I don't care. He might be talking about something over here, but he'll always throw in talking about abortion as well. So, you know, if you done heard about abortion, yo, listen, man, tell your people. Talk to them. Look, talk to her. Talk to her. Everybody got that one little cousin, if it ain't two or three of them, think they grown, They giving their mama problems. They not listening. We all got that. We all got that. Just like we got that one uncle that'll come to a barbecue. He gonna get drunk. He gonna cut. He gonna talk trash. Tell you that, yeah, that ain't your real daddy. That this and that and the third. We all got that. Everybody has these type of problems. It is time for us. Listen, we have to do like Zephaniah 2:1, man. We have to go back and we have to reach our peoples. We have to go and reach our people. Yeah. Oh, I have a question. What is white supremacy? White supremacy, listen. White supremacy, this is white supremacy. White supremacy is like Donald Trump. White supremacy is like Elon Musk, the Ku Klux Klan, um, Aryan Nation. Like white supremacy is white organizations that make up of people that are like unaliving that go against anything that is of righteousness. But they have a problem with uh they have a problem with God's chosen people. So white supremacy could be like the police force. White supremacy could be uh yes, Proud Boys, so forth. But if okay, Raquel, if I answer your question, just state that in the comments that you understand. If you do, if you got a clear understanding of white supremacy. So now when you hear like if you in another class and you hear us talking about white supremacy, then you get a general idea of what white supremacy is. Okay, all right. Um, so looking at Psalms 119, looking at Psalms 118 and verses 8 and 9, when it talks about putting your trust in the Most High over a man or woman, because when they sent this so-called white woman and she was the face of having an abortion, she really was she didn't go to people that look like her. She went to people that look like us. She went to people that look like us because she had a hidden agenda, because she wanted to do away with God's chosen people. Just like how they're trying to do away with us now. Look at how you got the police force. They going and unaliving. They going and unaliving, but that's just thing that people have seen. That are things that people have seen due to you got your phones. You got your phone, so you can do this now. You can hit your phones and you like this here. But check this out. What about the people that you didn't see by phones? What about the people that you only heard throughout history and just a little bit? Just a little bit. Like my grandmother. My grandmother just recently passed about some months ago. Before she passed, she said that some white men came and knocked on the door one night, took her father up out the house. She never seen him no more. So think about this for a second. Who's her mother? My grandmama mama? Who was she gonna go tell? This is the makeup of white supremacy. Who was she gonna go tell? So now it's things that we have not seen. We only heard the stories of alligator bait. But it makes sense because look at the sales of these shoes that have been sold. It makes sense. They wasn't really going in there like catching alligators. Like the stories that you be hearing, It makes sense. These stories have been documented. These stories are on paper. So to whereas you have the phone that to document the story and capture the story has been documented on paper. And these people have been, white supremacy has been doing the most to us ever since they came over here. You have to look at when they first stepped foot on American soil, what they did to our First Nation brothers and sisters. And it's still been going on, still going on to this day. Still to this day. But I'm going to get into some more. Uh Exodus, I'm gonna go to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 13. But the things that I'm gonna bring out, one thing about like with Christianity, man, Christianity is so wow, disgusting. Like it's crazy. Exodus chapter 20, verse 13. Thou shalt not kill. You might hear this every now and then in Christianity, like you might hear this once every 8 years, once every 10 years. Once every 10 years. But they'll say this on like if a sister son unalive another sister's son. But you would not say this in regards to um having abortions. You would not talk about this in the Christian church. Our black leaders would not and go back and reach the youth. They would not sit and break things down like the Bible be broken down in the ISUBK and the Commanders in Johanna. It would not. And at one point in time, I remember Reverend Jesse Jackson was running for president, and he had stated how he was talking against abortion. White supremacy got to him. I don't know, they must have paid him off. He came back and he was supporting abortions. And they got to him just for a little small token. They got to him just for a little small token, just for him um, stating something, because they kind of felt like he probably would have reached somebody. But white supremacy is so cunning. They words are smooth like butter. They words are smooth like butter. They know how to they know how to infiltrate your mind through media, through commercials, flyers, through the radio. They know how to get to you. They even had people to come in school and talking about there's nothing wrong with having an abortion. I remember like being in high school, they used to come to the school, talk about that. Like they have ways of going to reach you. They do. They would have people coming out in the streets with pamphlets. Like white supremacy is whatever it takes for them to keep money in their pocket, they're gonna do it by all means. By all means. And Christianity in the black community, they have them failed us. The only thing Christianity do, the only thing the slave master, the puppet, the slave is going to take orders from the slave master. Keep them in church, keep them coming, get you some nice looking collection plates, and just get this money. And get this money. But as far as educating the grown up, even down to the youth, Christianity hasn't failed us on all levels. Our black politicians have not failed us on all levels. You think that they're gonna sit up and talk about not having abortion and think that they're gonna be a face of America? Think that they're gonna be having a seat in a political office somewhere? No. Somewhere along the line, man, white supremacy would throw dirt on their name and have them to the point of where you would not vote for them. They would get them out of the spotlight, which they really not in a spotlight, but they're gonna get them from around them because at some point in time, somebody is going to listen. But check this out. This truth is spreading abroad. This truth is spreading abroad. This truth is spreading abroad. And it is time for our people to wake up. It is time for our people to wake up. There's nothing wrong with educating your people. There's nothing wrong with educating your people. White supremacy has them in educating their people to keep doing the things that is a wild, to keep doing devious things, to keep unaliving, keep raping, keep robbing. And they look, white supremacy is still shooting up schools. They're still doing the most. They haven't stopped. They haven't stopped. Like it's like now shooting a school is like a sport. Shooting up a school is like a sport now. And it ain't gonna stop. It's not. They're not gonna pass a law. Here it is. You got Donald Trump trying to pass a law for burning a flag. Like he trying to pass that law. You mean to tell me you got more uh sympathy for somebody burning a flag compared to God's chosen people being unalive? But he don't look at us as being God's chosen people. He look at us like what they sit, and we are the topic of discussions at a table. He look at us as niggas. So he is not gonna make a law that's gonna protect us. He is not gonna make a law that will have cops saying, "Man, we're gonna stop unaliving. We're gonna stop doing this. We're gonna stop doing that." Nah, that's not gonna happen. That's why it is a must. It is a must for us as so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people to come and serve the Most High the way that He says serve Him. It is a must that you get in this truth. It is high time. You know, if not now, when? Like, we have to stop playing. Like World War III is right around the corner. And this world is going on like ain't nothing happening. Like this world is carrying on like it ain't nothing. But here in the ISUPK and Commander Junior High, we're gonna keep pushing this truth though. We're gonna keep pushing this truth. Thus said the Lord. Like this is not going to stop. But I'm gonna go to Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time. And this right here is in red, just to let you know that Yahweh Shah, who the world calls Christ, he is doing the talking. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. That judgment is one of the Ten Commandments, Exodus chapter 20 and verse 13. Thou shalt not kill. But you would not hear this. This is something that if in Christianity, if this Bible was being taught how it's being taught in the ISUPK and the Commander Junior Hana, it would be one level. Everybody be on the same playing field, especially so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people. But you're not. You're not. You know, Christianity, they it's a false religion. Like, but you know, a lot of people is coming up out of Christianity, though, man. Most High in Christ for that. Most High in Christ for that. I'm gonna show you the first abortion, the first abortions that took place, and it's recorded in our history book. When you go to Exodus chapter 1, Exodus chapter 1, and start at verse 15. It said, "And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives of which the name of the one was Shifra, and the name of the other Puah. Verse 16, and he said, when ye do the office of a midwife was one that, like, we some special people, because a midwife, like, listen, we ain't even need no, you ain't need no doctor. That was even during the times of, like, when we was in slavery. I'm talking about like hard bondage. Like our sisters, if um she was having a baby, they would say, "Yo, go get so and so." She come, she got her bag, and that bag really was for delivering babies because she had other little remedies for other little ailments and something like that. But that bag was really for delivering babies, and she was like a midwife. Midwife. What was called back then when we was in captivity in Egypt, it has been said throughout like all of history. So let me get back to this. Verse 16, and he said, when you do the office of a midwife, meaning the work of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Hey, America, this right here is abortion. This right here is the first abortions. America today has taken on the ways of Egypt. It has taken on the ways of Egypt. It has. Like if you really go and do your research and go back in history, you'll see that the customs of Egypt is now the customs of America. And I'll give you a little give you something. This right here, a little sidebar. When I say that America has taken on the ways of Egypt, listen, when you see brothers going and getting like a line of tape up, they were doing that's an Egyptian custom. That's an old Egyptian custom. Like, for all those that's listening, you know what I'm saying? That's in this class, you go look that up for yourself. You'll be shocked. But then I'm just giving you that because if you the type that you like history and you like looking up things, yeah, just go check that out. Let's go check that out. But this right here is like first abortion. Okay. But I'm gonna go into verse 17. It say, but the midwives feared God and did not. Hey, we just like today, here in the ISUBK under Commander Junior Hunter, we fear the Most High. We haven't seen the things that the Most High is doing and have done. We have them read here in our history book. Just like the midwives fear God, we fear God too. Just like how we see if if a person really don't understand, look at how that fire was in Cali. They couldn't put it out. Guess what? That fire ain't touched not a private building. That fire ain't touched nowhere in black people. Look at how these places are getting flooded. Man, the earth is crying out. The earth is crying out against white supremacy. The earth is crying out for a new rulership. Like, pay attention. Pay attention to see what's going on. And all of this is by the Most High. This is by the Most High. Okay, verse 17, it say, but the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men, children alive. So that's what we have to do. That's what, listen, the older sisters, you have to go back and reach the younger sisters. Real simple. You have to sit them down and talk to them. But now, white supremacy has then played a part on our people mental capacity, just as well as these young brothers and our older brothers, like they haven't played a part on our mental capacity that we can't even sit down and talk to older men can't sit down and talk to younger brothers. But here in the ICBK, under Commander General Hunter, we go out and we reach these young brothers. We do. We go out and reach these young brothers. Our sisters go out and reach these young sisters as well. And we just gotta, like I said, if you sitting and watching a class from the couch and you not sitting in class, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But the things that you hearing, tell it to your people. Some of them, they might not take you, but for the ones that do, yes. Man, get your pencil and pad, write some scriptures down, write you some precepts down, and show them. Show them. So the next time when they do go to church, they'll be like this right here. They ain't doing nothing but dancing. Why they don't read from the Bible? And then you'll start turning gears. So now they start seeing for themselves. Then they'll be like, whoa, okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. All right, I'm gonna go to Exodus 1 and Exodus chapter 1 and verse. Man, I wrote this wrong. No, Genesis, Salah. Genesis chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse 27. So God created man in his own image, and in the image of God created he him, male and female, created he them. And this is something that the Most High said for us to do. This is something that the Most High said for us to do. But in Christianity, and I'm not taking up for Christianity when I say this. They will read this, but won't use this to break down in no shape, form, or fashion. In no shape, form, or fashion. Because let me read this, and then I'm gonna go a little more into detail. Verse 28, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. Christianity would not read this and won't have no breakdown, because here, if you're gonna break this down, you can break this down as far as like this here, and I'm not putting no spin, I'm not gonna add no words or nothing like that. Because if you say be fruitful and multiply, you have to go in and because this right here is dealing with sex. This right here is dealing with sex. This right here is talking about, you know, population, repopulating. But to break this down, you would have to talk about what is sex. Sex is marriage. You would have to go into details and say that, listen, um, when you do have sex, like, listen, y'all are to be together forever. Like, this goes against having an abortion. So now when you sit down with some young ones, a young man, a young woman, now you are starting to educate them. So now you is giving them something to think about. They're not gonna go and be looking at each other like, oh, this and that and third. And just as well as you telling this sister and this young brother about this scripture and you breaking it down, you also throwing in I want to say it's Leviticus 18:23, but I'm gonna paraphrase it. Telling her how to dress, telling her about not putting on tight clothes, telling her how to present herself, how to conduct herself, how to talk, telling her that, yo, listen, you don't carry yourself like this. All of this goes in giving morals and values. So a person cannot sit and say that God does not give out good, sound instructions because he do. He do. So it's no getting around this. But in Christianity, they would not teach this. In Christianity, they would tell you about trunk or treat. They have you talking about Easter egg hunt, talking about Mother's Day, Father's Day. This is why we say that the Christian church is disgusting, filthy. Like it don't have nothing to do with educating us. It does not. Our black leaders have been failed us so bad till, you know, you have to thank the Most High for commanding General Hunter. You have to. You have to. And Commander General Hunter is a hell of a man because he kept this school going. So a person cannot sit and say that Commander General Hunter does not have love for his people. It's no way. It's no way. It is no way. Like, nah. All right, I'm gonna go Psalms and get into a little more. Psalms 127 and verse 3. It says, Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. So the Most High is in favor of having kids. I just read to you how he said, be fruitful and multiply. But the Most High also gives sound instructions on what is sex. Sex is marriage. The Most High does not go out and say, over here, over there, over there. No, no. Can a man have more than one wife? Of course he can, upon his choice. It's not no must-have, it's not mandatory. Upon his choosing. Upon his choosing. But these are sound instructions. Nothing in here is supporting abortions. From Genesis to Revelation, you is not going to get nothing that is going to support or back up any type of abortion. The Most High is against having abortions. But these things that you have to sit and talk with your kids, you have to. I don't care if you have a teenager. I don't care if it's somebody that's 20, 21. You have to sit and talk with them. You have to sit and really, really educate them. So having a child is God's reward. God is in favor of having kids. God said, "Be fruitful and multiply." God ain't say nothing about your body, your choice. Having abortion is a health choice. He ain't say nothing about no plan B, none of that. None of that. Most High ain't say nothing about no birth control, none of that. None of that. All right, I'm gonna go to Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 3. Yeah, Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 3. They say even the sea monsters draw out the breath. They give suck to their young ones. They say the daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. So if you know anything about here the Most High is showing you that even animals they care for their youngs. Well, some, but he also stating that um he's also stating that how women have become cruel, feeling like the ostrich. I want to say the ostrich. I want to say. Don't really quote me on this. I want to say ostriches. They have they'll lay their eggs and I want to say they leave the eggs. They'll leave the eggs, and I think they bury them or something. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But it's been a long time since I have seen this. And I think they leave them. I want to say they leave them. So like when the ostrich egg, like when they do hatch, I kind of think they just be off for self. But you have some women that have become cruel, and the scripture it speaks on it. It does speaks on it. It talks about how the delicate and tender woman, uh, she wouldn't even put her feet on the ground, but she has turned against her husband and her little ones. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I'm gonna go into some more. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you this right now. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and start at verse 56. It say the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness. It was at a time that a woman wouldn't even put her foot on the ground because of her delicateness, because of her feminist, because of the woman that she was. Now, I remember they used to have a saying, keep them barefooted, keep them pregnant and barefooted. And I haven't seen pregnant women walk barefooted. I'm talking about like it was normal. And this was I wasn't in the truth, but I was old enough to hear keep a woman pregnant barefooted and understand what I was seeing. Because I don't know if that brought about that, keep a woman pregnant barefooted and then seeing that, I don't know what caused that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what caused that, but I know seeing that me looking at it at the time, the age that I was, I was like a teenager and I was like, wow. To me, I said it do kind of go together, but I never really knew what brought that about. I never knew that this was here until I came in the truth. All right, I'm starting with it say the tender, delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So her having an evil eye, yes, that would bring about having an abortion. That would bring about having an abortion because her eye has been evil. And by her eye being evil, you have some women. I have heard some women say this right here. I don't want to have no kids because it'll mess up my shade. But her eye being evil towards her kids will cause her, yes, to have an abortion. It will cause her to have an abortion. And it's crazy because a woman would take herself through all of that and then turn right back around and go have sex and get pregnant again. That, like, just throw me for a loop. Still do to this day. Still do to this day. Like, you still have females that will go have an abortion and still turn around and will have unprotected sex and get pregnant all over again. And that's crazy. I mean, that's something I don't think I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Okay, verse 57. And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the sedge and straightness, wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. Hey, her being distressed is being tricked into having this abortion. And she is being tricked, not knowing that she is being tricked. Because it's this right here is a true saying. A deceived person don't know that they being deceived. You know, you have some women that will panic and thinking that having an abortion, is the right thing to do because they really haven't sat back and sorted out. Like I said, you really haven't been educated on having sex either. You really haven't been educated on what to do. And, growing up, and this is me personally. Growing up celebrating these man-made holidays, it leads to one thing, it leads to having sex. It leads to having sex. Because when you do the origin and the history of these man-made holidays, that's what it leads to. That's exactly what it leads to. So and this is being instilled in you year after year, year after year after year after year. So now you done took on so many demons that come from these man-made holidays till you really don't know how to fight them off either. And then you got the television in front of you that displaying sex scenes. Uh, we ain't even gonna talk about like the porn world. We ain't even gonna talk about the magazines and the stores. It's so much that's in front of you coming up as a kid that you done took on so many demons that you don't know how to fight them off till now you acting out the things that you have seen coming up. And the only conclusion when you find out that you're pregnant, I'm having an abortion. The thought of putting the baby up for adoption that's the farthest thing from your mind. That is the farthest thing from your mind. I mean, the farthest thing from your mind. When something as simple as saying I'm putting the baby up for adoption, instead of you talking about unaliving the baby. And then I'm I'm not supporting this. I'm not supporting this. But you have some females that they would go and have 2, 3 abortions and never the thought of them tying their tubes never ran across their mind either. But once again, you is not educated. You thinking that you really know what you're doing. And the only thing you really doing is unaliving these kids. But I'm gonna say this here. If you done had 2 abortions, yeah, you a little serial killer. You're a little serial killer. Like, you know, you're unalive at heart. You have been taught that and you thinking that you doing what's right in your eyes. Like you don't even really realize that you are unaliving a child. Because you have been taught that it is a fetus. And I still don't even know what that is because it's no way that nah, it's no way that you can prove a fetus and not. But I know that's a science term. That's a science term, and I'm aware of that. But I'm gonna jump in some more. I'm gonna go to Jeremiah 44. Jeremiah 44 and verse 7. It says, therefore now, thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain. You know, by you having abortions and this and that and the third, like you are decreasing your population. When the Most High said to be fruitful and multiply, that's why it is a must that you have to take Psalms 118, 8 and 9 at heart. The Most High say, don't put your trust in man or woman. Don't put your trust in man or woman, especially when you're dealing with white supremacy. When it comes to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people, you should deal with white supremacy like how white supremacy deal, like how other nations deal with white supremacy. You should deal with white supremacy. We, as God chosen people, we should deal with white supremacy to the point that we should be able to benefit from that. And I'm talking about like, yeah, go and get you some money, or you can buy back our land, get your credit in order. Like it has to be to the point that we are benefiting from it. Like you shouldn't go to dealing with white supremacy to the point that where they are taking away from you, tearing you down, not building you up, not helping you in no shape, form, or fashion. Got you thinking that by you receiving some little tokens, and when I say tokens, like you receive welfare, like you getting little BS child support and all that, in order for you to receive Section 8 and things of that nature. You can't have no man in the house. You can't have this. You can't do that. They trying to separate you from the black man. So by them separating you from the black man, they're taking your strength. They're taking the man out the picture. Like, no. That's why I say for all those that are sitting back, and if you're watching the ICBK and Commander Jimmy Hunt, learn something. Stop going up against your peoples. Stop fighting this truth. Accept this truth for what it is. Because ain't nobody else speaking up for us. You don't have no black politicians speaking up for us right now. Look at what they're doing to ICE. And I'm kind of sidebarring a little bit. But ain't nobody speaking up for us. Ain't nobody going to bat for us. You'll have these little politicians coming around sticking signs in the yard. They don't even go to schools. They ain't walking through no communities. They have other people come out, stick some signs in the yard. It be about like 15 to 20 signs in one spot. 15, 20 signs. You come out, you see the little signs, this and that, okay, they showing a little poke on TV. Once they get in the office, they're gonna tell you a lie. They're gonna tell you a lie so sweet, so believable, till your mind really ain't on God. But you're going through so much oppression till you feel like, the best thing you can do is vote for somebody thinking that they're gonna help you get out your situation. And you put more trust in man than God. So why not listen to Commander General Yohana? Why not let Commander General Yohana show you how to come back and serve the God of Israel? He telling you that you're an Israelite. He telling you that there is a God for Israelites. Every nation on the face of this earth has their own God. Why niggas can't have a nigga God? Why we can't? Everybody else got their own. So we're gonna have to go through the things that we're going through. But at one point in time, white supremacy, they are going to be crippled. White supremacy empire is coming to an end. It is coming to an end. But here in Jeremiah chapter 40, Salaki, Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 7. You keep having abortions the way you having abortions, there will not be nothing left to repopulate and build up the nation of Israel. There's a hidden agenda with white supremacy. There's a hidden agenda with white supremacy, and they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Like I said, they have certain places now set up to where they are trying to recruit black men to go and sleep with white women so that they can build up their nation. Their nation. They have been trying to do away with God's chosen people since the beginning, since way back when. And they have not. Because one thing that they have failed to realize is this here. When the Most High was talking to Abraham and he said that I'm going to multiply your seed, I'm going to multiply your seed like the sands on beaches, like the grains on sands of beaches. It's nobody, listen, nobody don't even know the number of stars that's in heaven, let alone the sands on seashores. Somewhere along the line, they forgot that. They forgot that. And even in a time of oppression, we are still having babies. We are still having babies. Just as much as these abortion clinics stay open, we are still having babies. Set aside from that. But we still have to go and reach our people. We still have to go and get our people. We still have to go. We still have to go. We still have to do it. If you're a priest and prophet here in the ISUPK and the Commander Jimmy Hunter, man, it's an honor to do the work of the Most High. You have to. It's a must. It is a must. So I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 49. Isaiah 49 and verse 15. So when I say the Most High is against abortions, the Most High is against abortions. Isaiah 49 and verse 15, it says, can a woman forget her suckling child that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? They do forget. But the Most High ain't going to ever forget. He is not a man that he cannot forget. He won't. I'm going to start over. It said, can a woman forget her suckling child that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. The Most High ain't going to forget. The Most High is not going to forget. He is telling you in the scriptures, he is a man that he would not forget. He is a man that he would not forget. I'm going to go to Isaiah 1, Isaiah 1 and 15. And I'm going to give y'all something to think about. I'm going to give y'all something to think about. I'm going to give y'all something to think about with white supremacy. These people, they don't think about. These people do not serve the God of Israel. These people that is operating these abortion clinics, white supremacy that call itself praying to God, serving God, and it's I mean, it's heartbreaking how they would do the things that they do and then turn around on Sunday and go into church and got the nerve to say hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, and talking about they born again, they doing baptism, you know, and leave out the church and just forget, you know what I'm saying? Just go right back to doing what they've been doing. That's why these scriptures are so heavy. These scriptures are so heavy. These scriptures are so heavy. I mean, hmm. So I'm a, and this right here is in regards to white supremacy. Isaiah Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 15. It said, and when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Yea, when ye make many prayers, I will not hear. I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Your hands are full of blood. And they praying to like it's no way that you can do what you want to do and think that the Most High is with you. And white supremacy, they do. White supremacy, they do. But you know, I'm gonna share something with y'all. This right here, a little sidebar. Uh, my great, my great aunt. I met her. I met her when I think I was young, but I remember meeting her. I think I was about like 8, 9. Yeah, my memory go back that far. My memory go back that far. Beautiful woman. She was strict though. She was a beautiful woman. Um, my mother, my mother had to go to work. It was one Saturday. I remember this like yesterday. My mother had to go to work, so I was in the midst of some of my other cousins, and you know, she fed us, and she just had that motherly love, and she made us all sit down, was watching a little TV. But I remember her sternness, like she had a type of voice, like when she talked, like oh, like wow. But I remember her though. I remember her good. I remember her husband. Her husband, he was cool people. But this is a little sidebar. This is my point. Her and her husband, they loved each other. I mean, they loved each other, like for real, for real. They knew each other, like they grew up together and just stayed with each other until, you know, they passed away. But in the midst of that, when they was young, they went on to have 25 kids. They had 20, not all of them live, but they had a total of 25 kids. And I was like, wow. I said, yeah, that's love. That's love. But it was no abortion there. There was no abortion there. You know, they didn't believe in that. And in the midst of all that they was going through, and you know, they had a set aside. I mean, they had like out of the 25, I want to say probably about, I don't know, I think about like 5 or 6 of them probably passed, but they had a big family. You know, I remember going to family reunions and like, you know, I got a little older and they was telling me, they was like, my mom was such and such. And I was like, whoa, I was like, okay. But it was love. But we as God's chosen people, so-called Blacks, Hispanic, First Nation people, we have to go back and reach our people. We have to. You know, you ain't really got to put everything go at them all at one time. But our peoples have been hearing lies for so long till not only have they done fell in love with the lie, like, yo, they'll fight you for the lie. they would kill for the lie. They would do anything to keep from you going against the lie and coming with the truth. But there's ways around it. There's ways around it. And thanks for everybody that tuned in, watched the class. I want to give a courtesy salute to my brothers, Yahabasham, Yahabashah, Barakatah. To my sisters, Yahabashamor, Alatham, Bahasham, Yahabashah. Hey, Israel, stay up and keep tuning in the class. With that being said, Shalom, Israel. Class dismissed.